Welcome back to Playwright with TypeScript end-to-end automation testing training session 7. In today's sessions, I will continue again with the Playwright important topics. In today, I will try to cover up how to configure built-in reporter in Playwright, how to slow down test execution in Playwright, the Playwright browser navigation, then the Playwright locator strategy and the type of Playwright locators. Along with, we will learn the important HTML tags while dealing with the Playwright locator, along with their specifications. And we will study about all the 7 key built-in locators that Playwright primarily support. Apart from that, we will learn about the complete, we will discuss about the complete study of the custom locators, which is nothing but the XPATH and CSS selectors. And we will see the different strategy how we can create our own way, the custom locator like XPath or like XML path or CSS selector, and how to interact with any element using chaining locators. And at the last, we will try to cover today what is Playwright fixtures and what is the importance of those fixtures in Playwright automation. So in the last sessions, we all started like discussing about the Playwright. We learned about the Playwright, what is Playwright, the pros and cons, how to, what are the different stuff required to start your journey in the Playwright TypeScript world. Like we required the npm node.js, and we required mm, along with that we require npm node.js. Then we require the ID. Here we are using the VS Code as a ID. Okay, so that we with this particular setup we can start our journey in the Playwright automation world with TypeScript. So first we in the first sessions in the last session you already see like how we can create the folder. After that, how we can open the folder in the VS Code. Then we can do the setup for the Playwright, and automatically couple of folder structure is getting created. So this is the way the folder structure got created. Okay, there are a couple of folder and default, right? Your example.spec file created wherever there are 2 test cases were already there. So there are 4 important block we discussed in the last session, like import block, then test block, and then this is nothing but the actions block, and this is nothing but the assertion block. And playwright.config file is the heart of the Playwright, from where all the global configuration we can try to set up. Okay, so now today let's try to and yesterday in the last session we also tried to run the basic Playwright script using headless mode, headful mode with specific to browser. And apart from that, like default way, whenever we have run, right, that time a default HTML report got generated, and we have like validated the HTML report as well. But the HTML report that time generated whenever test case is getting failed. But whenever it's getting passed, we need to run the command, right? Called npx playwright space show hyphen report to open the report. So today we'll start learning what are the different built-in reporters available in Playwright, and Playwright support all the built-in reporters, and how we can use those reporters and how we can generate the report as well. So so that is the topics we are trying to discuss today. So, in any of the automation world, reporting is very required, because until you are able to generate the proper report, you are able to share the respective stakeholder. There is no point of the automation, because at the end of the day, your stakeholder will be looking for the concrete report where they can get to know what is your how you are progressing, how many test cases you have developed, test script you have developed, out of which how many passed, failed, skipped, all this stuff. So Playwright already supporting couple of default built-in reporters. So Playwright supports a variety of the built-in and custom reporters to visualize test result. Built-in reporter includes like HTML, then a list reporter, then line reporter, JSON reporter, dot reporter, and JNode XML reporter. So these reporters provide a comprehensive details such as browser tracing, screenshot, and step-by-step execution. We'll discuss all these parts slowly, and you will learn how to capture the screenshot, like work with the traces, and how you can create the video also full execution. All this stuff will be learning. So apart from this built-in reporter, third-party reporter, just like the Alio report also can be integrated. We'll learn how to integrate the Alio report as third-party reporter. So third-party integration like Alio reports are also supported for more visual, comprehensive test history and dashboard. User can enable multiple reporters simultaneously. It is not like that only one time you can have the one reporter. No, it's one time you can have all the reporter integrated. Okay, for displaying a list in the terminal while generating an HTML report. So what are the built-in reporters available? list reporter, line reporter, dot reporter, JSON reporter, JUnit, and HTML reporter. So HTML reporter generates an interactive detailed local report ideal for debugging. List reporter displays a clean, concise list of tests with their status like passed, failed, skipped, etc. Line reporter will show a single line for the current test, ideal for large, fast-running test suite. Dot reporter will display a simple dot. Suppose in case you are having 10 test cases, you'll be having 10 dot. So you get to know how many test cases executed. So dot reporter will display a simple dot for each test result for minimal output. JSON reporter it will display the output data in a machine readable format, which is primarily suitable for custom integration. JUnit will generate an XML format compatible with CI system like Jenkins or GitLab, other way, right? So what we need to do, first we need to go to the config file. So in the config file, we see that this is the reporter already integrated, right? So now we can go with the config file, and we can try to just have the all the reporters, all the built-in reporter added. So let's go ahead and copy this code. It's already mentioned here, you no need to worry about that. Okay, just copy this part and just change in the reporter block. So what I'm going to the reporter block here in the config file. I'm just replacing it here first. So what are the reporter we are doing? We are doing a line reporter. We can replace with the dot reporter also, either line or dot. I will let you know how we can just use all the reporter. Then we can have the list reporter. We can have the HTML reporter. So in the first sessions with Playwright, or the last session, we only use the HTML, but we did not mention any kind of folder, right? So by default, like HTML reporter will be on failure default setting. So that is the reason whenever it was failing, it was automatically opening. So, but apart from this default or on failure, what are the other stuff we can set it up? We can set it up open tag, and then you can have never or always. Never means it will never open the HTML report by default. You need to run the command called npx playwright show hyphen report. But if you make it always, it will be always open every time, whether it's a pass or fail. And we can also give that output folder name if required. Then you can JUnit report, where also you can give the folder name. Output file will be generating in the here outside right of the project. So this is the name will be given. Then we'll be having your JSON reporter. Here also we are trying to create a file called JSON test result.json. You can give any specific folder or any specific name based on your requirement. So this is the setup I have done. Now let's save the code, and now let's try to run this example.spec.file. Okay, example.spec.file is having two test cases. One is the test case name is hash title, another test case name is get started link. Okay, so what are the way we can run the test cases? So this is the syntax we learned last time. Okay, that npx playwright test, then you can give the file name, and it will try to run for all the configured browser based on your config file. But in case you are giving project equal to Chromium or WebKit or Firefox, it will run only specific browser. And in case you are giving hyphen hyphen headed, it will try to run in the headful mode. Because otherwise, by default, Playwright will try to execute the test case in the headless mode. And also, we have in the last session we have make it fully parallel to false. In case we are making it fully parallel to true, it will be parallel mode. But we are trying to execute all the test case one by one. That is the reason we have given as a false. Now let's try to run this code and see what's happening here. So it will try to execute both the test case available in the example.spec.ts file. It will be running in the Chromium browser, and two test cases, and you could see that both the test cases run and two test cases passed. But it did not generate this report, HTML report. Why? Because here we have given that setting called open equal to never. By default, it will take on failure only. So whenever it will failure, that time it will display. Otherwise, we can make it always or never. So that as we have made, like make it never, so it is not being displayed. So what is the way we need to do? We need to just run this command to generate the HTML report. Okay, so it will open the HTML report. It will be letting you know how many test case passed, fail, and if you click here, right, you can get to know what file executed, which browser executed, what was the reference step. So those part already discussed in the last sessions. Okay, so now this is the way actually your HTML report works. But if you make it always, it will be always generated by default. You no need to run this command. Okay. So now let's see about the other report. We can make here Control C so that your terminal will come again. So let's go with the mm, uh, next report. What if the configuration line report is there? Let's try to generate the line report. So what is the way you can run it? So we need to give the command npx, or we can use the last command also. Okay, so this is the command, right? Npx playwright test. This is the file name we want to run in the like chromium file headed mode. Then what we can do here, we can hyphen reporter equal to line. Okay, so it will try to generate the line report. So hit enter. It will try to execute only these two test cases in the chromium browsers, and it is only not parallelly, right? You could see now two test cases getting passed. So that is the way it will give you the result. It is a properly line, single line. How many test cases executed, how many pass fail, all this stuff will be given. Now here instead of line, you can make it dot here. So dot report also you can generate. So same command we can run it here, and we can just change it to dot dot. So dot report will be generated. It will be just giving you dot dot, right? How many test cases passed or failed executed, like that. In case two test cases, it will be giving you two dot. So you could see here you are getting two dot here, two passed. So that is the way dot report will work. HTML report you already learned. Now see about the other report, like kind of list report. Okay, before list report we will go with the JSON report. So what we can do, we can make it JSON here. So before running, you could see there is no like okay, JSON report already generated, because this particular thing we already make it JSON report and your XML report generated. Now if you want to open the JSON report, how we can do it? JSON here, you can give it JSON. Sorry, yeah, here we can give it called JSON. That's all, and hit enter. So it will open the JSON report. It will execute, and then it will generate the JSON report. You could see JSON report is coming in the console properly. Apart from that, if you do not want to open from here, you can also open this JSON report and you can validate it. So this is the way JSON report is nothing but it will give you the proper output data in a machine readable format, which definitely you can use for any kind of custom integration. So this is the way JSON report will be there. Okay, it will giving which path is generated, right? How many executed, how many workers there, how many retry. Okay, total timeout, all the global setting, what are the browser executed for a speak browser, what are the test case executed, everything you will get it from the JSON report. Now here instead of JSON, we can go with the, or you can also open it from here, same way it will be displayed, because this file already generated. You can validate from here also, because this is the path we have given, like JSON test result dot JSON, but it is generating in the project folder level, root folder level. Similarly, XML file also generated. If you want to open it from here, you can just change it to called JUnit report. This is the actually report for the JUnit. Okay, so here you can get to know how many JUnit report is there, but here I can make it JUnit instead of JSON. Okay, that is fine, but still it is getting generated. So let's run it. Let's save and run it one more time. So it will be giving you the like XML format, which is very important, especially for the CI integration. CI is nothing but the continuous integration, right? What should name executed, what are the test case executed, right? All this stuff will be there given. Similarly, you can open this one result.xml. Here also you can get to know total number of test cases, failure 0, right? Total error 0, skip 0, total time spent 7 minutes, 7 seconds, 22 milliseconds. This is the file name. This is the timestamp. This is the host name, Chromium browser. Total test is 2. This is the title executed from this file. This is another title test case executed from this file. Total time spent. This is the way you can also generate the JUnit report. So these are the very important report like there. And apart from that, last one is called the list. Here we can just change it to list. So it will display you all the list of report in the console after executing the test cases. So all kind of report you can get it in the output, in the console output. Okay, so you see here, like running two test cases as a list format. Okay, this is the Chromium browser, this is the folder, this is the spec file name, this is the title, this is the total time spent. Okay, this is another test case, total 2 pass, total time spent, like that. So this is the way, these are the very important built-in report. We can configure, it's a one-time job. After that, automatically fold every run folder will be updated, and you can just open it with this command, right? Npx playwright test, then you can give the file name if required. If you want to require execute it specifically, any browser specific on headed mode or headless mode, you can give it, and then you can give space hyphen report or equal to, like either line or dot or list or JUnit or JSON. But for HTML report, once running, you need to come run the command called npx playwright show report in case your setting is open never. In case your setting is open by default or on failure, whenever test case fails, it will be automatically generated. But in case you are making it always, right? Let's make it always here and see after running the code how it is happening. So always means it will always generate the report by default. You no need to run the command npx playwright, right? Npx playwright show hyphen report. So after changing it, you see, just run any code. Okay, so if you run automatically after execution is done, this HTML report will be automatically opened. You need to no need to run separately npx playwright show report. So this is the way setting actually matters. You could see it is generating the report. So this is the way all the built-in report are actually work in the playwright. So now you can make it never, so that I just, in case you require, I can just run my custom command in the terminal and I can generate the report. So these are very interesting. All the report are inbuilt in the playwright, so you no need to have any kind of other like plugin or dependency to be added to your project. Just need to change your config file, that's all, and then automatically all the report will be generated, and you can run your command through the terminals, and automatically you can validate those report. That is very beautiful. Now here, whenever we are executing, our executing is too fast. So we already did that headful mod, right? We already doing this setting called like fully parallel fall. So the test cases, our test case is running one by one. But sometime in the initial time, whenever you are learning the playwright or any automation tool, right? You need to visualize the execution. That every step I can wait for some time. I can visualize that execution happening step by step. All this approach is not right. So how we can do it? So there are one options available called giving some wait time. Okay, like it's command called page.wait for timeout to 2000 millisecond or 3000 millisecond or 5000 millisecond we can give it. But apart from that, this is the settings we need to give it for every step in the test cases level. But there's a global setting available where we can try to just set only one time, and automatically every actions will wait for that specified time. So that is the beauty of this, to slow down the test execution in Playwright. That is just one setting you need to do it. No other configuration, no other any kind of like extra plugin you need to add it. Okay, but in the real-time framework, you should avoid it. In the initial day, whenever you are learning the Playwright automation with TypeScript or JavaScript or any programming language, especially JavaScript, TypeScript, this support actually. So you can just use it called slowMo option or slowing down the mode of execution. So the slowMo option is purely for human observation. It adds a fixed delay after every Playwright operations. Reserve slow-mo for those moments when user need to put a detective hat and visually debug a tricky test. It is very useful for execution for visual debugging, primarily for the local or development environment only. But whenever you are integrating in the framework or whenever you are running through the CI/CD pipeline, you should not use it, because otherwise every step will be waiting for that time and will creating the right delay for your skipped execution, and definitely your execution time will be increasing. So you need to avoid it. So what is the purpose of slow-mo? To slow down the test execution so that user can visually debug and see each step as it occurs. What are the key benefit? infallible for figuring out why a test failing by watching the browser. So how you can configure it? So here you need to go here in the use section. You already see in the use section trace is already there. So here you need to add it called something called launch options. You could see this coming, right? Launch option is coming. Here we need to give it launch option colon, and then we can give these curly braces, and here we can give slowMo, right? You could see slowMo option is coming. So that is the way it will be giving you the flexibility. After typing something, it will give you again colon. I can give 3000 millisecond. So what it will do? It will be just 3 second pause or delay, like for every operations, for each and every operation. Okay. Now let's save it. Okay, and you need to give a comma here. That's all. Now you could see there is no error message. So now let's run the code again and let's see what's happening here. So it will be waiting for every operation for 3 seconds before proceeding to the next actions or operation. So that is the you can easily like visualize your execution. Anything is problem, right? You can easily refer it. This you could see 3 seconds delaying. It's not closing immediately. So you can still visualize whether your step by step execution is happening. So that is the way it can delay from the global configuration level. Instead of locally you are doing any kind of hard weight. But this is not recommended to use in the real-time framework. This is recommended whenever you want to visualize your execution for debugging purpose, or whenever somebody is learning the playwright to as a new, like from the scratch. So those time is better to use it. Otherwise, we should avoid to using the slow-mo. Now we can make it 2 seconds. That 2 seconds is fine instead of 3 seconds. So this is about the slow-mo. This is already written down how to slow down the test execution in playwright using slow-mo. And this is the way you can just change the configuration launch option. We can give the slow-mo equal 2 seconds, 3 seconds, or 4 seconds, whatever way we want to set it up. This is the global setting from the playwright.config.ts file. Now let's understand about the browser navigation. Then I will take a pause for any questions. So in the real time, okay, what we generally do? What are the browser navigation? So browser navigation is nothing but whenever you want to just say open a web page, you need to open another web page, then you need to go back, forward, refresh, reload, all this stuff, right? You want to do specifically browser. So these are called the browser navigation. So browser navigation in web automation testing refers to the ability of automation tool to mimic user navigation actions such as moving forward, going back, refreshing, or opening a new page within that browser only. So browser navigation in Playwright with TypeScript involves using method on the page object to control the browser's movement between URL and within its history. What are the primary browser navigation we can do it? You already seen about this part, like page.go to, where we are trying to navigate to URL. So these methods load the web page and wait for the load event, which signifies that all page resources will be fully loaded. After that, it will go for the next action. So this include what do we understand about the loading part? Whatever is loading, it is include the style sheet, script, different images, different frame or iframe element. If the page redirect client side before the load event, page go to method will wait for the final redirected page to load. Then there is a methods available called go back, page.go back, to navigate back to the previous page in the browser history. User can use the page.goback method. This method will trigger the browser to go back one step in the history. Then we can use go forward, page.go forward method. This method will primarily trigger the browser to go forward one step in its history if only available. Otherwise, it will not work. Just keep it. Then page.reload. This method simulate the browser, simulate the user clicking the refresh button in the browser, just like you are opening a page not loaded fully. So simply you want to just refresh it, just like F5 button, right? Here, refresh button or F5 button. So that will be again trying to reload it. So that is called page.reload. So this method will simulate the user clicking the refresh button or F5 button in the browser, reloading the current page. Then you can use the page.close. This is nothing but the most common way to close a page. It closes the specified specific page instance user is working with. In case multiple page instance is opening, You need to use that multiple page instance, like page 1 dot close, page 2 dot close, like that. Whereas browser dot close method will close the all the browser context on the pages. So if you close the browser, automatically, in case the browser open multiple pages or multiple context, it can be closed. So we'll be understanding browser context today only, so no need to panic. So let's understand the real-time implementation. So what we'll do, we'll create a new file, spec file here in the test folder. Select the test folder, click on the new file, and here we can give it called session 7, right? Today session 7 dot spec dot ts. File name should be always spec dot ts file for the playwright. Okay. Now what we'll do, I'll just copy this syntax and I'll paste it here. Okay. Now what I'll do, I'll just remove one test cases and I will just keep only one test cases here. Okay. So that's all. So this is the only one test case syntax I have given. There are 4 block again: import block, this is the test cases test block, this is the actions block, this is the assertion block. So we can change the title called validate browser navigation. That's all. Okay. Then here same thing. So I can try to open this browser playwright.dev. Then I can validate that is starting with the not playwright. Then what I can do, I can try to navigate to one more another page. Okay, instead of this website, I can go to the another website. Say let's go to the other website called Google. So I can just take the URL and just change it here. So we already first opening the playwright, then opening the validating that playwright title. Similarly, after opening the Google page, I can also validate that title, because the title is nothing but the Google. Here you could see the title is Google. This title containing the word called playwright. So here I can change it to Google. Then what I can do, we already opened the playwright page, then Google page. So now what we can do, we can try to use that go back. So what we can do again, await here page picture dot go back method. You could see this method is coming, go back. You could see here what is the objective, what is the way it's working, right? Page dot go back. Okay, returning the main resources response in the in case of multiple redirect, the navigation will resolve the response of the last redirect. It cannot go back, returns null. So this is the way you can get to know what is all this stuff. Okay, this is the way I can go back. Then now we can do again await page dot go forward. So it will be forward again, right? One browser history forward. Then you can try to load it, refresh the page dot reload method. You could see the reload method is coming. It is this method reload the current page only. Okay, then we can try to close the browser. In case you have opened the open the multiple page using the browser or browser context, we can try to close the browser also. Here one page only there, so page dot close method. So this is the different browser navigations we can do it. Now let's save the code and let's try to run it. So what is the file name? session7.spec.ts. So we need to also change it accordingly. Where the file name we can change it. Session7.spec.ts. I am trying to run in the Chromium browser and headed mode. So only one test case is there. It will run it. So let's save and run it now here. Okay. So let's do it and let's see. And every actions it will wait for 2 seconds, because we have given slow mode to 2 seconds, right? So it's opening the playwright dev page, validating the playwright title, wait for 2 seconds, going to the Google page, wait for 2 seconds, now going back to the playwright, wait for 2 seconds, going forward to the Google page, wait for 2 seconds, refreshing the page, wait for 2 seconds, closing the page. So this is the operation doing, and it's perfectly working fine. There is no error. All the assertion is getting passed and all the browser action also getting passed. So in case you are changing this config file to 3 seconds, it will be doing for 3 seconds every actions. Okay. Now apart from this command prompt, right, whenever you are trying to run it, okay, you could see the test case level, there is a button will be coming. Okay, called click to run test cases. So you can click on this button also to run our test cases instead of this the terminal. So for every test, it will be this option will be coming. So you can also use it. So you could see it running one test cases step by step. It is showing you, but it will run mostly in the headless mode. So step by step, waiting, all the option is getting displayed here. You could see one test case fast, and you got the result. And this is the way you could see this is the test case name executed. You can rerun it from here, or you can run all the tests. You can debug all the tests if required. Debug it also. So those part will be learning later. So no need to worry. Okay. Now you can go view and you can go for the terminal again. Okay. So this is the couple of options also there to run our test cases. So I will take a pause for any questions. Okay. So let's now proceed with the next test cases. So then I'm just commenting out all this code. Now we'll start our next topic called Playwright Locators. So what I can do here, I can just remove all this line and I can only take one line of the syntax basically. And here I can change it the test cases name. Okay. So test playwright built-in locator. Test cases name I can change it. That's all. We'll change the later point of time, other part. So let's understand about the playwright locator. So, so what is the locators? So as of now, we understand about mostly about the browser operations, like how to open a page, how to go back to a one website from the one to another, reload it, all this stuff. But that is not the main objective. Our main objective is that definitely opening the browser, loading the page, and after that interacting with the different web element available inside the page for any kind of page, right? So those are called element, all the element, right? It can be button, it can be text box, it can be heading, it can be a drop down, all this stuff. So this is the element I need to identify first. Then only I can do the interaction with this element. So for the identification, right here, playwright concept locator strategy is there, where we can try to identify all kind of element. Then we can do the respective operation based on the element type. So locator are very important for any kind of web automation you are doing, whether you are using Selenium, Playwright, Cypress, WebDriver, IO, that does not matter. But locator strategy mostly remains same with little bit here and there. Okay, so locator are one of the most effective ways to locate element for any web-based application. In a nutshell, locators represent a way to find elements on the page at any moment. So Playwright, one of the most commonly used framework for end-to-end automation testing, provides various locator strategy to find and interact with web elements. Playwright provides auto-waiting and retriability features, making it simple for tester to find and interact with specific element on a web page, ensuring that tests are robust and reliable. What is auto-waiting? Means that based on the Playwright global setting, it will try to wait until the locator is coming, right, for maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute before throwing the error. What is retrying ability? Within the 30 seconds, it will try to retry multiple times the same locators. Then only it will throw the error. This means the locator will wait for the element to load and keep retrying automatically before throwing timeout error. So these locators are adept at handling multiple elements, matching element by text, and even locating element that contains or do not contain specified text somewhere inside, showcasing their versatility. There are several ways of getting started with the Playwright locator with TypeScript using the custom locators called page.locators, where you can use the XPath or CS selectors, right, to create the locators. And there are a lot of built-in locators is also available. What are the different built-in locators available? We'll discuss it. Different locators called get by role, get by text, all this stuff is there. So while Playwright is fully flexible in allowing user to build custom locators using the page.locator methods, but the built-in locator are recommended and they serve the most of the use case, because that is the more advantage of the Playwright. The Playwright support lot of built-in locators, and majority of the element identification will cover using with those built-in locators. In case built-in locator is still not working or no such attribute is there, then you can go with the custom locators. There are primarily type of locators. There are primarily 4 types of locators available. What are those? Built-in locator. There are 7 built-in locator we'll discuss. Then there is CSS and XPath. XPath is nothing but the XML path, and CS selector we'll discuss today. Then there is custom locator. Primarily CSS and XPath support with the help of the page.locators. Apart from that, there are 2 more concepts available called chaining and filtering locators. Filtering locator we'll understand in the upcoming sessions. But chaining locator is nothing but we can use the chaining concept, right? So that I want to have the parent, and from the parent I want to go for the child, or otherwise, like say I want to give the multiple reference to identify the same element. Suppose here in any of the offices there are say 2 person is there called name A, first name A. Okay, 2 or 3 person where first name A, everybody's first name is A, and last name is B, C, D. So in case you want to identify that person with first name A, so you'll be getting 3 options. But in case you are combining or chaining with first name and last name, in case you are giving first name A, last name B, so you'll be getting the unique person. So this is the way chaining occurs. Sometime in case you are not able to identify the element uniquely, you can use the chaining locator strategy. Okay. So now let's understand about the key features of the Playwright locators. Why this locator is very useful. So couple of important features available for the Playwright locator called auto-waiting, retriability, which is almost discussed, then strictness, chaining, dynamic locator, built-in locator, reliability. So auto-waiting is nothing but the locator automatically wait for the element to become available before performing actions. It will eliminate the need for explicit wait and help user to write um, mm, uh, resilient and non-flaky tests. So you will understand about how to handle the non-flaky in the upcoming session. No need to worry. Non-flakiness is nothing. Suppose whenever actually element is not identifying, some error is coming called timeout error. We will handle those situations using different global timeout. Then retriability. If an element is not immediately found, Playwright will retry locating it until a timeout is reached. So in case you are giving timeout 1 minute, it will retry until the 60 second or 1 minute is completed. In case it is found, then it will be working. Otherwise, it will throw the error after 1 60 second elapsed. Strictness. Frame locator is very strict, meaning that they will throw an error if multiple element match the selector. So in case you are giving any locator strategy, but where you are able to find out more than one element, it will be throwing the error immediately. That is called strictness. Chaining. Playwright allows selector chaining and Playwright get parent element, enabling precise element targeting within the complex DOM structure. What is DOM? DOM is nothing but the document object model. Okay. There are multiple locator strategy you can give with the dot separator for the chaining part. The dynamic locators, Playwright support dynamic locator, allowing user to locate element based on the chaining attribute of the text. Built-in locator, we said there are almost 7 built-in locator available, right? To deal with the different role of the element, text, alt text, placeholder, titles, custom text ID, or labels. Reliability, locator works on most up-to-date DOM every time action is performed, ensuring reliable test. So this is the key feature we discussed, and this is the type of the locator, built-in locator. custom locator where CSS and XPath will come, and chaining and filtering locator. Now, let's before understanding the locator, let's understand different key important HTML tags and their specification. So definitely, most of the time, whenever like any web page you are interacting or you are testing, those web page mostly developed using HTML tags, right? HTML, CSS, and JavaScript based application mostly. But there might be other application also. But mostly HTML tag will be constant. So HTML tag will help the developer to give the different tag names so that automatically tag this element will work accordingly, and definitely they will define different attributes or the properties. That is fine, but mostly those tag is really important. From the tag name you can understand by closing your eyes what are these elements all about. So couple of tag name I have tried to listed it down. Doc type is nothing but define the time of the document. HTML is the parent tag, right, the root tag of the HTML document. Then head tag will be there, where user can try to developer will try to just give the head element like the title, style, meta tags. Then title tag will be there, will define the title of the HTML document. Body tag will be there to give the body, where you can have the content like tables, list, images. Div tag is there to define a division or section in the HTML document. P tag to define the paragraph. A tag is nothing but for the link or hyperlink. Image tag is nothing for the image. UL tag is nothing but the unordered list item. OL is ordered list. LI is the list item. Table tag is defined the table. TR is table row. TH is table header. TD is the table data. Form tag is there. Whenever you want to have some form, so you can have the form tag. Inside the form tag, you can have like the input tag, right? Radio tag. All this stuff will be there. Input tag is nothing but the defining a input control within a form, but sometimes with the name of the input tag you cannot get to know what this element all about. So input type equal to text means the text field. Tag name input. Type equal radio means radio button. Tag name input. Type equal to checkbox means checkbox, like that. Then button tag is there, it will define a button. Iframe or frame tags available to define a frame or iframe. You will be learning slowly. H1 to H6 tag, H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. This is the 6 tag. Define the heading of different level. Span tag is there for generic inline container. Label tag is there to define a label for any input element. Text area to define a multi-line text area. Instead of one line, you can have multiple line in the text field. Select tag for the drop-down list. Option tag again of an options for the drop down list. Data list tab is nothing but the list of predefined option for the input control. B tag is making the the text bold. Strong tag indicates strong performance importance, usually bold only. I tag make it italic. EM tag also emphasize tag use similar to emphasizing the text. U tag is underlining the text. Mark tag highlight the text line as a marker. Small tag displaying the small text, right? Your font size you want to make it small. Then DLE tag like strike through or deleting, strike through. Then INS tag is there, inserting, underlining, underline text. Template tag defining a container. Time tag is there, show a specific time. Then fat tag is there, defining a variable. There might be other tag also there, but this is the very common tags you will be seeing whenever you are dealing with the different web element inside the page. Let's understand how the tag you can validate. So say this is the page I've opened. Say Facebook page I've opened. Now how can I go to the internal part wherever I can get to know how the like different elements structured inside the page. So what you can go, you can directly right click here in the page after opening any web page and click on the inspect button. Otherwise you can press F12 button also from your keyboard, F12 button. Okay, just F12 button is there, it's fine, or you can go with that way, right? So this option will be coming, it will be opening the dev tools. Otherwise you can right click here and then click on the inspect button. Okay, now you could see automatically it is giving you the structure of the page properly. You could see whatever we discussed, like the tag, doc type tag, starting tag, then HTML is the starting root tag, right? We discussed here. Okay, then head tag, title tags, all this tag will be there. Now let's understand that how the different way tag will be there. So if you just, there's the inspect button element, right? Inspect button, this is the inspect button. Click on that and mouse it over to select any element here. So I want to select this email field. Just right click here, select it. You could see the tag name is starting with input. Okay. and then other attribute is there. This first one is called tag name, remaining is called attribute. Now we can, in case you are not able to visualize here, click on the triple dot button again, mouse it over to any of the element, click on the triple dot button, right click here, then copy the element. Okay, open a notepad and paste it. All the element property you can get to know. You could see starting with input tag. There's a class attribute. These are called attribute, and these are called value. Whatever within the double quote, these are called value. Then DRI attribute is there. This is the value. Autocomplete attribute is there. This is the value. Area label attribute is there. This is the value. ID attribute is there. This is the value. Type attribute is there. This is the value. Name attribute is there. This is called value. So this is the way, right? These are the different attributes is there. You can get to know. So input mostly is like called uh, text field. So let's go with the other couple of website here. You could see right click here and click on the inspect button and see how this tag is defined. Now let's click here and go here any options. You could see how the tag is input. Type equal radio. That means radio button. Let's go for the checkbox. See. Okay, you could see tag name is input, type equal to checkbox. So that means a checkbox. And there are different other attributes which will uniquely identify the element. Our objective is to identify the element uniquely inside the page. Otherwise, because of the strictness, it will be throwing the error. Okay. So in case there is a say this, like you could see, it is starting with img tag means image. There is a link or hyperlink. Okay. See this. Go to this page. Right click here. Click on inspect. Okay, let's try to click on the Gmail link. Let's see what is this all about. You could see it's starting with A means link or hyperlink anchor tag, and then they'll be having other properties like class name is there. Okay, this is called href. That is the reason href is nothing is linking. That whenever you are clicking, it will open the new page or the new new URL. The href is the linking of the link or hyperlink. That whenever you're clicking, it will open this website, this particular page. Div tag is nothing but the divisioning, right? Header tag is there to give the header. You could see whenever we are highlighting any sections, the relevant side is getting highlighted in the left side. Okay, so this is the way your the tag will be there. Okay, sometimes couple of element might be hidden, but you can still see here. But in the UI, you are not able to see it because those are the element hidden. So this is the way. First, we need to understand that what are the different tag name, what are the attribute. Then we will try to go ahead with the different element locator strategy for the playwright automation. So let's understand about the key important type of different locators. So we'll first discuss about the built-in locator that Playwright primarily supports. So what are 7 built-in locator? Page, get by role, get by text, get by label, get by placeholder, get by alt text, get by title, get by test ID. So what is get by role? It will primarily locate element by explicit and implicit accessibility attributes. Get by text, locate element by the text content. Get by label, whenever label is there, we'll try to identify the label text. Get by placeholder, in case placeholder attribute is there, we'll try to locate those elements with the placeholder attribute. Get by alt text, especially for the images, right? Alternative text will be there, alt attribute. So you can try to use that get by alt text method. Get by title, in case some element is having the title, we can use it. In case some element is having data hyphen test ID attribute, we can use get by test ID locator strategy. Now let's understand about the get by role. So page.get by role locator in the playwright is a very powerful tool for locating element based on their area role. So the role will be button, heading, checkbox, radio, right? All these kind of role will be there. So get by role is a nothing but a powerful tool for locating element based on their area role and accessible name, reflecting how user and assistive technology perceive the page. For example, whether some element is in text, button, link, input field, or checkbox. So whenever locating by role, users should usually pass the accessibility name as well, so that the locator pinpoint the exact element. This method is highly recommended for creating resilient and user-centric text. So role locator includes button, checkbox, heading, link, tables, list, and many more, and follow W3C protocol, World Wide Web Consortium. Specifications for area role, area attribute, and accessibility name. there that many HTML elements like button have an implicitly defined role that is recognized by the role locator. Now let's understand about the implementation of the get by role locator. So what we will do, here I have already tried to return the script, right? Test playwright built-in locator. So let's go for to a website. Say this is the website we want to go ahead. Okay. So just I am changing this here, the website URL here. The first thing I am doing it here. Okay. These are the two part is already there. One is called import block. One is called test block. And now I am trying to just navigate to this page. Okay. After opening this page, what I want to do it. Okay. This website is having this thing, right? Let's right click on the inspect. First I want to deal with this login. Okay, let's see what is this all about. Okay, you could see this is a heading tag h5. That means your role is heading. Okay, and what is the name is login. So with this role I can try to identify the element, and then I can validate that, like the text or the visibility. There are different methods. You no need to panic. So you'll be learning slowly what are the different methods available to deal with the different assertions. Okay, so what we'll be doing, we'll be trying to store in some element here. Okay, we can do something called constant, and what is the name? Called login heading, right? I can give the variable name called login heading, variable name. Okay, equal to how I can identify the element. Okay, the page is the method name dot get by role. Okay, you could see get by role is coming. Okay, here what we can do, get by role. Then here what I can do it, role is, what is the role? Heading. H1 to H6 is called heading role. Then I can give a comma here. This is the syntax I can use it. Then curly braces. Then I can give name colon. What is the name? Login. This is the login name, right? This is the login name. No need to panic. You just give it from here. Or if you expand it, you can get to know. Okay, you could see this is the login text there. Okay, so this is the way I can go ahead. Now I can do it. First store it. Then what I can do? I can validate. So I will be using await expect method. Okay, then what is the variable name I have did? This is my variable name dot, I want to make it visible, that is visible or not, right? So this is the way my test case will pass. In case element is not visible, it will fail. That simple text I am doing using the role. Okay, now let's try to execute it. Before executing, I will try to use other role. Say this is another field called username. Okay, so you could see this is the input. And what is this called? Text area, right? Text. Okay, the text box. So I can try to again go ahead in the same way. So I will copy this line and I'll create a new variable constant, because variable name should be always unique. Return type will be constant. The variable name what? Called username txt, right? So I can give that variable name called txt username. So that is the, you can understand what is the variable all about. So you need to give the proper naming convention also. Okay, just login heading. The login is the field name, heading means header. I can easily understand. Here I am giving txt, text field, username. So here paid get by role. What is the role? Called text box. Okay. Now what is the value? What is the value here? Let's see what is the value here. You could see the value is nothing but the username, right? So this is the way I can copy it. So I have identified it. So whenever any kind of heading, I can just validate it or get the text only. But whenever any kind of text box, so what I can do, I can just enter some value in the text box. So what I can do, I can use await, then field name dot. I can call the field method or type method to fill the data. So what I can do here, I can give something called admin. So this is the field I can try to do it. Similarly, for the password field, I can also identify it. Okay, I can give it called password. Okay, here also it will be same way. Okay, get by role text box, and what is the password field name? See it here. Okay, password name equal to password. So I can change it here. Now I can take this particular variable and I can fill that any other team called valid password, like call admin 123. You could see in the website is giving, right? This is the username, this is the password. Now let's try to click on the login button after giving the valid username password. So let's go for the link here. So what is this? Okay, so yes, so this is the role is button. What is the role name? Is login, right? So I will try to do it again. So what I'll do, I'll just copy paste. I'll create a new variable. Okay, I can give that variable name called button, btn button, so I can understand easily is a button, and variable name called login button. So page dot get by role. So here I can give that role is button, and what is the name here? Name is nothing but login. So you could see here also its name is login, and here also name is login, but these are the two different locator. Why? Because this is heading and this is the button, so this is not same. Now what you can do is a button or link. What I can do, I can simply click on that await dot click method, I can call it. So all these operation you can get will know slowly how to do the different operations. Now let's try to execute the script and see what's happening now. So it will going with the step by step approach in headed mode. First it will open the page. It will first identify the login header. Okay, it will validate that visible or not. Wait for 3 seconds. It will enter the username field admin. Wait for 3 seconds. Enter the password admin 123. Click on the login button, which is a valid combination admin 123. It will be success. Okay, see what the problem is happening here. Okay, failed. What is the problem happening? Okay, okay, login button clear. So I just called the wrong method, right? It should be click because you cannot use the clear method, right? So that is the you can get to know what is the problem in case you are doing any mistake also. Okay, so what is the error coming? See here. Okay, what is the problem? Error. Locator dot clear error. Element is not an input. Text area select or like contented table and does not have any role allowing area read only. So that is the reason you cannot do that clear actions on that. Okay, this is the button. How you can clear the button? So it is which line number error came? You could see here. This is the line number. So I can just navigate. I can try to fix it. So I, instead of clear, I can try to use the click method. Now let's run it again. So this kind of mistakes can be done, but we can try to fix the code based on the error coming. And as then will be working more and more, you can figure it out easily. So there are a lot of strategies there to debugging it also. You'll be learning slowly, no need to panic. So just follow it step by step way. So automatically all the approaches to start your journey with the Playwright TypeScript will be very, very comfortable. And you can try to develop your framework by your own slowly. Now you could see click login button clicked and it is coming in the new field. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. My test case got passed successfully. Now say my test case is validated, right? So here I am giving admin, and here I am giving admin 123 valid one, clicking on the login button. Now next thing what I want to do it. So this is done. Now I want to validate it, right? My login is successful or not. Okay, so I can definitely use that particular thing. I can validate that particular title is matching with this one, right? So what I can do, I can use some command. Okay, assertion await expect after clicking here. Okay, page dot to have URL, right? To have URL or title, whatever way, I can just give the URL. Whatever is coming here, it should match. Okay, this is the way test case can be passed. This is the one validation, so I can do it. Okay, apart from that, what I can do others. Okay, this is the one validation I can do it. Apart from that, as and when successful happening, say this dashboard is coming, right? So it is again header h6. Okay, then I can validate that this dashboard is coming or not, this particular text is there or not, right? Dashboard, you could see this is the dashboard text. So what I can do, I can just use this other part, and I can validate that dashboard is there in the new page. Okay, so here I can give it login dashboard, sorry, uh, heading. Okay, here same heading, h1 to h6 is heading, name equal to dashboard. So I can just simply copy it from here, and I do it, change it, and now I can just change it this variable, so it will be visible. That's all. Now let's save it and run it. Let's see whether other remaining line of code also working perfectly fine, whatever we added just now, to validate that login is happening or not properly. So you could see test case got passed. So after clicking on the login button, it is going to the dashboard screen where it is validating the URL, and it is also like understanding that dashboard heading is there. It is just identifying it and validating that visible. So this is the way you can go with this kind of automation. Okay, now let's one more example also how we can deal with these particular get by role. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll be navigating to one more page where there are other checkbox ready button is there. Okay, so this is the website where we'll be having the checkbox ready button, right? So this is the website. I will copy that URL. Okay, now similar way, what I will do, I will try to just check, create a new variable here. Say I'll be just trying to interact with the this particular checkbox. Okay, so initially it's not checked. Okay, so I'll just identifying this element. So here, what is the role? It's checkbox. Okay, and name is checkbox only. Waveform or value is something like that checkbox. So I will try to just go ahead with the other way, right? So what I will do, I can create some variable called checkbox one or underscore one, like that, whatever I can give it. Page dot get by role called here checkbox. You can give it radio also, it can radio button also. Okay, then what I can do it here, because there are a lot of checkbox available. So here you can use get by role checkbox dot nth. Okay, so what is the first checkbox? So you need to give it called 0. So that is select the first checkbox, similar type of checkbox. In case second checkbox, n value will be 1, or third checkbox called 2. Okay, so that is the you can give it. So after that it's there. What are that? Then I can validate it called await, like expect. Okay, the new variable name checkbox 1. Initially what is there? It is not checked, right? So I can use that assertion not dot to be checked. Okay, so not to be checked initially. Okay, then what I'll do, I will just check the checkbox. So I need to just take this variable, and then I will be check method called to check the checkbox. That's all. So it will be checked now. Now what will be there after that check? So it will be now checked, not right, instead of not to be checked. So I can assertion will be that checked instead of this not operator. That's all. So this is the way I can validate it. Again, if you just uncheck, you can do it checkbox one dot uncheck. So it will be uncheck dot uncheck. If you want to uncheck it, then you can validate again that not to be checked, because after unchecking it will not be checked. So this is the way you can do it using the role. Now let's run it and let's see what's happening here. Okay, so it will open the page. It will identify the checkbox one. That will validate that it is not checked initially. After that, it will check. It will validate that to be checked. After that, it will again uncheck. It will validate that not to be checked. So it is first checking, not to be checked, and then check, right? All the way it's passing. So this is the way we can also use this checkbox or reader button kind of stuff. So this is the way role also play a very very important role to dealing with the different like element within this particular get by role locator strategy. Now let's understand about the other couple of stuff called get by text locators. Okay, so get by text is nothing but is a method to find an element by the text its contents, matching by substring, exact string, or regular expression. Get by text is primarily very ideal for non-interactive element like div, span, or paragraph. If get by text find multiple element matching the criteria, Playwright will throw a strict mod violating error. You need to use exact colon true or chain with other locator to ensure a unique match. After locating an element, user can use playwright assertion like to be visible, to have text, or click to interact with and verify its state. Then get by label. So get by label, whenever label attribute is there, you can use it. So get by label in playwright TypeScript is a method used to locate form controls like input field, checkbox, radio button, etc. by their associated label text. It is recommended way to interact with form element because it uses accessibility principles, making test more robust and maintainable. Ensure HTML have properly associated labels with the form controls for get by label to work immediately. If multiple element match the same label text, playwright might require to provide additional context or use exact colon true option for precisely matching, especially if the label text contains sub element or extra element. Suppose say you are having something called say any field name called name, okay, but sometime there might be name 1, name 2, name 3, that might be similar kind of thing is there, so it will not work. So you need to give exactly name, wherever exact name is there it will work instead of name 1, name 2, name 3, all this stuff. So this is the way your exact will work. If the label element directly wraps an input element like label password, all this stuff, so will help to locate the element uniquely. If the label element has four attributes whose value matches the id of an input element, like here you could see label for password input equal to password and ending with label, okay, here. So this is the way we locate input with the matching id. Now there are a couple of more locators also there. Get by text, get by label discussed, get by placeholder. So page dot get by placeholder is a locator strategy or method in Playwright which TypeScript used to identify input element based on their placeholder attribute text. This method is part of the Playwright set of user-facing locators which aim to make text more robust and readable by targeting element in a way that resembles how user would perceive them. The get by placeholder is very helpful method to find specifically input element like input tag or text area tag by matching their placeholder text. It will be also useful when element do not have any unique id or other readily identifiable attributes. The search for the placeholder text is a very case sensitive by default. User can use the exact clone 2 option to enforce a case sensitive and whole string match for the placeholder text. User can prefer get by placeholder over different complex like CSS or XPath selectors when a placeholder attribute is available and unique, as it leads to more readable and maintainable text. The next locator is get by alt text. So mostly whenever dealing with image, like there is a alt attribute will be there. So where you can use the get by alt text locator strategy in the Playwright. So get by alt text is locator method in Playwright which TypeScript used to find elements based on their alt attribute value. This locator is particularly useful for image, icon, and other non-text content that includes descriptive alternative text for accessibility purpose. I'll be covering and I'll be letting you explaining you how you can do it. No need to worry. So get by alt text is designed for elements that support the alt attribute, primarily image and area elements. By default, it perform a case sensitive substring search, but user can enforce an exact case sensitive match using the exact colon true on option if required. The get by alt text in Playwright locator is a powerful way to interact with elements that are described using alternative text. It supports accessibility testing, help user to write clean, understandable test script, and improves web application overall test coverage. Then the next one is get by title. Okay, the get by title in Playwright TypeScript is a method used to locate element based on their title attribute. Definitely, those attributes should be available for the element, otherwise you cannot do it. So this method is available on the page and frame locator classes. Get by title can be used when element have unique and descriptive title attribute, and other locator like get by role, get by text, get by text ID are not suitable. Get by title specifies target the title attribute, while get by text targets the visible text content of an element. By default, get by title performs a case sensitive whole string match. Title attribute value is trimmed for white space before matching. Okay. The last one, built-in locator called get by text ID locator in Playwright. So get by text ID is a locator method in Playwright with TypeScript used to find element based on their data hyphen text ID attribute. So this attribute should be present. Data hyphen text ID. Then only you can use the get by text ID attribute. Get by text ID locator method, or a custom test ID attribute configured in the Playwright. This get by test ID method provides a stable and reliable way to target element in the test, especially when other selector like CSS classes or IDs might be dynamic or less consistent. Get by test ID is very easier to update test when UI changes, as long as data hyphen test ID attribute remain consistent. Using get by test ID is recommended when an element cannot locate by its role or text or other attributes. So this is the way you can use the 7 key locator strategy. So we already covered that get by role. Now let's cover the get by text. Okay. So and the get by label. So let's go for any other website. Let's comment it out, this part. Let's copy this line. Okay, I'll go to another new website. So this is the Salesforce official website. So I can change the URL here. See how the get by text will work. Okay, so this is the website is there. Now say I want to like identify all the element one by one. Okay, say here you could see whenever you are selecting the username field, you could see here the class is there. Okay, truck input, then the class battery is there, name is there, area label there, type is there. Okay, so this is the, if you expand this deep part, sorry, okay, this fine. Now go to any of the checkbox called remember me. Okay, see here. Okay, remember me, just go to this particular field called remember me. You could see there's a label tag is there, right? Label tag, see, this is the input field, this is the checkbox, this is the class, but there is a label field available. What is the label name? Remember me. So for this element, you can use the label get by label attribute, check or uncheck. Okay. So let's see. So what I will do, I will just open the page and I will be storing in some variable called the variable name called. Okay, what is the variable name? The variable name called remember me checkbox. So you can give checkbox underscore remember me. Then here page dot, the method name I will call dot get by label. Okay, here get by label, and here you need to give the value. What is the value? The single quote. What is the value? See it here. What is the value here? Just copy it. No need to write anything. Just go here one more time. Okay, what is the value? Label tag only. You need to use label tag. Remember me. Just copy it exactly. In case any spaces there, you need to give it. Now what we can do? We can just do it. Now after that, what we can do? We can try to validate that is not checked by default. Okay, after that again we can check it and then we can validate that to be checked like that. Okay, so just we need to just use this, change the variable name, but here we are trying to identify using the get by label. Okay, so what we will do, we'll just change the variable name here. not to be checked initially. After that we are checking, and then we are validating that to be checked. So this is the way I can do it. Okay, so now let's try to do it with the get by text element. Okay, so go get by text mostly work, I already told, right? Get by text mostly work whenever there is any div span or paragraph tag, or sometimes there's a link or hyperlink. Also there's a text available. Suppose say I want to click on the forget your password. Okay, so you could see this is the anchor link, but this is the text of the link, right? So I can use it, this particular part I can try to click it also. So what I can do, I can try to store in some variable again. Okay, variable name I can give called link. Okay, link underscore, what is the name? Forgot your password. So forgot your, that is the variable name. And here I am using dot get by text, and here I can give the value of the text. What is the value here? Okay, this is the value. Forgot your password, complete thing you need to give it here. Okay, now what I want to do it, I want to click on that options, because there's a link or hyperlink or button. I can click here, click operations, click here. That's all. Now let's run the code. Let's see what's happening now. Okay, so we'll run it again, the same file. So you need to make sure the label should be there. For the label, dealing with the label, you could see checkbox will be checked. Yeah, unchecked, and the button is getting clicked. So it is growing fast. So what we can do, we can try to wait for some more times to validate that is checked, new link is getting open. So what I'll be doing, I'll be just using some hard wait. Okay, force wait kind of stuff. Okay, so how we can do it, the force wait part. Okay, I need to use something called await. Okay, so what I'll be doing, I'll be using this force wait. So after clicking on that, we can validate it. Await page dot um, wait for timeout method. Wait for timeout. Yeah, here I can wait for around 2 more seconds to validate that thing is getting happening properly. Now let's run the code and let's see, because at the last moment is not happening, slow mode is not working after the last action is happening. So I can give the force wait for 2 seconds to validate that forward that particular link opened and new thing got open, right? So it will be identifying, checked, and you could see now it's able to visualize. So this is the way you can give this hard wait also to initially visualization standpoint, but literally later point of time you should not use it. You should avoid of using this kind of hard wait or slow mode, slow mo. Okay, so now you can see here, these are the couple of more website example here. Okay, here you could see this is the website. If you open, right click here, go to the inspect. Okay, you could see for this particular input field, right, label is there, label tag. You could see what is the label, first name. So you can also open this website and try to interact with this label attribute. Okay, so let's comment out. Or you can, instead of storing it, you can directly interact with the also the element, that is fine. So what I can do, I can just change the URL name. Directly you can try to interact out instead of storing in some variable. In case it is required only one or two time, one time. In case it is required more than one time, two time, it's better to store in some variable, and then you can use it n number of time. Otherwise, you can try to just do it. Okay. So what I'll doing, I'll be using await directly page dot get by label. Okay, so for the first name field I want to enter some value. Okay, this particular field, first name field. So what is the label? Is the label tag, and what is the name of the label? Just like first name, whatever. I'll just copy it, simply copy. You don't need to write anything. Get by label, here within single quote you can give it. Now you can call the field method and you can give some value. Okay, just like I'm giving it called my name. That's all. Okay, similarly you can have the other field, right? You can enter the value for the last name. Okay, like message, everything like that, email. You could see again it is label. Okay, because it's coming from the deep tag last name. So I can try to enter, copy it. Okay, I can enter it. What is the value of the name called last name? I just copy it here, exact label. I will change it here, and last name I want to enter called my name called Pal. Now let's run the code and let's see what's happening here. And I can wait for 2 seconds to validate that it's happening properly before closing it. So this is the way also label sometime work, and primarily you can use that text primarily with the link, hyperlink, or any kind of text. Okay, sorry, why it's happening? Let's close it. Okay, I need to change the URL. My bad. So this is the URL. I need to change it. Now save it and run it again. It opening the new page. It will identify the first name, last name. It will enter the value. You could see Haradhan entering in the first name field and last name Pal entering. Okay, so this is the way using the label you can do it. Now let's go it with a couple of more example for get by placeholder or get by alt text. So what I'll do, I'll just comment it out, cut this line. Okay, I will take this line to open the new page. Okay, so let's go it one more new page. Okay, this new page is fine, so I just need to log out it here, so it will go to the original page. Yeah. So what I'll be doing, I'll be trying to enter email and password using the get by placeholder. So just I will change the URL again. Okay, directly what I'll be doing, I'll be just calling these particular steps. Here, instead of that get by label, I'll be changing it to dot get by placeholder. Okay, and here I can give it called admin. Now let's see what is the placeholder available or not. So just right click here and go to that inspect button after opening the page or F12 button. Now just click here and go to the exact field. You could see here placeholder attribute is there. So I can use the get by placeholder in case this attribute is only there. Those kind of relevant field. Otherwise you cannot use it. Now I can use simply this placeholder name, username. So this is the part I know that whenever you will interacting, you can get to know this what are the different attributes available. Based on that, you can think what are the way you can do it. Similarly, I can go for the password field. I can just copy the line. Okay, and what? Let's see what is the placeholder for the password field. Okay, you could see placeholder also there. This the field is password, value is password as a placeholder. So I can just try to use it. Admin 123, and then I can already using the placeholder. Now I want to use the get by all text attribute. So I already told this is mostly used for the wherever image or other stuff is there. So here you could see there are images there or not. Okay, this is the image available, right? This is the image. You could see this is starting with img, that is called image. Now we need to understand whether any kind of alt attribute is there or not. You could see for these images alt attribute there called company branding. So what I can do, I can start to store in some variable called constant. Okay, the variable name called logo or the orange hrm logo equal to page dot sorry await page dot What is the element strategy? Get all by text. Okay, all by text, and here you can give the value. What is the value? Company branding. That is the all value, all attribute value. I can give it here and I can validate it now. Okay, what? Await, expect the variable name to be visible. That's all. It should be visible. Dot to be visible. That's all. Now let's save the code and let's run it. So this is the way, this is the different element locator I can deal one by one. So first you need to understand what are the different attributes available, what is the tag name, and what are the inbuilt locator you can try to use it for the from the playwright. So here you could simply enter the username, it is entering the password, it is also validating the orange HRM logo, and your test case should be passed. Okay, it's perfectly working fine. So now one more locator will be understanding, which is built-in locator called uh, called here get by title. So let's go to one more page. Okay, just I'll. Okay, this is the thing I can try to use it, copy it, and I will just go for any new website. This is the website I can go here. Okay, so here I will try to use the get by title. Okay, so different title attribute should be there, then only I can use it. So I know that one of the element is there called wherever title is there. So okay, so here in this particular website, there is one attributes available called frame. Let's right click here. There is something called title, control F. Okay, this is the one of the thing available called frame locators. Okay, just mouse it over. So this is the element I already know. Okay, you could see for this is the anchor link, but title attribute is there. What is the title name? Called frame locator. So whenever there is a title attribute will be there, then I can try to use it. Okay, so what I can do it? So here I can try to use called await page dot get by title. Sorry, my bad. Get by title, and here I can give the value called title value, whatever is there. What is the title value? This is the website. Title value is called frame locator. This is the anchor tag, and this is the title value. Okay, so let's see. Give it. Okay, now definitely I can make sure that is visible. Okay, then I can click on that element. Okay, so it's a link or hyperlink. I can definitely click it. Apart from that, I can also validate that how many count is there also, right? What is the exact count there with this particular title element? Title equal to this. Okay, so let's see how many element count is there with the title. Okay, so frame locator. Okay, there are three element, but with title equal to this only one. Okay, only one element with title. So definitely I can make sure that only one element is there with this title, right? Apart from that, the title should be matching with the frame locator. So this is the way I can do the assertions. So what I'll do, I'll be just calling this part, and I'll be giving more assertions before clicking on this link. Okay, so first assertion I'm giving called validating that to have count. There is a method available called to have count. Okay, so what is the count of this title? One only. So I can give it like that. Okay, so that means total with this title only one count available in the page. Then I can also give something called dot to have text, especially for the validating the text. Okay, that text is matching exactly which this word, frame locator. And then I'm clicking on this link and it will open the new page. I'll waiting for 2 seconds, automatically it will close. So now let's run the code and let's see what's happening here. So it will be identifying the locators, it will be validating, and everything will be clicked and it will open the new page. So my test case is perfectly fine. So these are the different built-in locators available in Playwright. Now we'll go to the next custom locators. Okay, XPath, CSS, and couple of locators before going to the next topic. So any doubt, anybody? So all the thing already explained here, and all the code I just mostly given also in the like handbook. So just try it, but we almost explained. So in case you are having any doubt, go through the recording one more. Yeah, go ahead. Yes, Ramya. Okay, fine. In case you are having anything, you can discuss also in the after session is over. That's not be a problem. Okay. So now we'll discuss about the other couple of locators. Okay, which are nothing but called the custom locators. So here primarily Playwright support XPath and CSS. So why this kind of locators required? So suppose say that whatever 7 inbuilt locator we are talking about, so those 7 inbuilt locator is those attribute is not available for any element or maybe available but not working properly. So then we cannot say that we are this is not working, so there is no option. No, we cannot say. So that is the reason there are very genuine strategy for CSS selector or XPath are there, which also Playwright integrate to support it as part of the custom locators. So what is CSS selector? So CSS selector in Playwright is nothing but with TypeScript is a cornerstone for selecting the element in the browser efficiently and effectively. They leverage standard CSS syntax to target element based on their tag name, class, ID, attribute, and relationships within the DOM. Locating by CSS selector is the yeah yeah yes yeah after going covering this thing, just note it down. I will cover it. Okay. So I already told these are the CSS and XPath are the very custom locators. Whenever all the element locator is there but still not working, right? Or maybe there is no such element inbuilt locator available. You are not able to identify. So you can use this custom locator or chaining locator or filtering locator. So CSS is very important. Okay. So they leverage standard CSS syntax to target element based on their tag name, class, ID, attribute, and relationships within the DOM. Locating by CSS selector is the most common locating strategy of advanced playwright user because it can access even those elements that do not have any ID or name also. CSS selector is used by browser to target specific HTML element and apply styles. So CSS already using, right? Whenever you are developing some page, HTML, CSS, JavaScript we are using. Here, CSS locator, so you can get to know how we can identify the different strategy. For web browser automation, Playwright uses CSS selector to locate and perform an actions on an object instead of applying a styles. User need to provide CSS selector string as an argument to page.locator. So here we cannot use like page.get by role, get by text, all this stuff. Where we need to use get by locator, and in this particular parenthesis we need to give the locator value, either XPath or CSS. So Playwright automatically detects if it is CSS selector or not. Using CSS selector to locate element have some specific benefit because it's very faster and it's very reliable, more readable, and also often used. Sometimes most of the people use the CSS XPath only. So it will depend. There is no hard and fast rule that you need to use it. In case you want to create your own dynamic CSS XPath, you can use it. Otherwise, in case those built-in locator are working, also you can use it. It will depend on you or your project or your customer how you want to use any kind of element locator strategy to identify the element. So what is the we need to create selector? So say we are giving something called tag name. In case you know the ID, tag name has ID. In case you know the class attribute, tag name dot class attribute. If you know other attribute, tag name attribute equal to the value. Then if you having multiple attribute, you can use tag name attribute equal to value, again attribute equal to value, other value. So this is the, you can give the multiple attribute. If you want to give the start with, right here you can give the tag name attribute, this power sign equal to the prefix of the thing on the starting part, whichever is constant. Okay, end with a tag name attribute dollar value equal to suffix of the string. And contents means anything, right? Either starting, middle, or end with part. What is that? Tag name attribute star equal to the substring. Now let's understand some example, then you can easily understand. Okay, so how to create the CS selector? So say this is the official website, we'll be using it, one of the website for CS selector. So they go to the Salesforce login site. Okay, so here I will try to identify with the one. Okay, so let's comment out and let's go to the Salesforce website. I'll be changing the URL. Okay, so first I will try to identify this username field. Okay, so just go ahead here and select this. So in case you do not know, you can take the default one. Right click, go to the copy, and there's an option called copy selector. So it will be creating your own CSS selector. So copy it and you can get it here. So this is the CSS selector is creating by default. How it is creating? So this is the syntax already given here. Okay, you if you know the ID attribute, you can use tag name has ID. Or sometime in case ID is unique, you would not require the tag name. With has ID, it will still work. So this is the default one. I can take it. Otherwise, I can try to create my own way. So what is? Let's try to see how I can create the own way. So let's see what is the locator value element available. So let's go ahead this part and let's identify the element username element again. You could see input tag name. What is the ID username? So what is the syntax for in case you know the ID? Syntax is tag name has ID. In case ID is unique, without tag name also it work, has an ID value. So I by default, how can I create it? So here you can select the cursor here, press Control F, Control F. Now you can try to write your own CS selector. Tag name has ID. What is the ID? In username. What is the tag name input? So I'll be writing here input has then ID. You could see now one of one element is displayed here. Means we are able to uniquely identify the element using the CSS. And if you enter here, you could see in the left side the element is getting highlighted. Your objective is to identify the element uniquely. So here, right, I can create my own unique CSS. So now I can try to use it here in my code. So what I'll be using await page dot locators instead of this get by text and other stuff dot locator. And here I'll be giving the value locator value simply within the double quote. Then I can make sure that this particular what is that variable name text variable name I can change it call username and then I can check it that is like visible. Okay, then I can validate enter some value. This is a text field. I can enter some value called fill say any value called test123 and definitely you need to give the await. Okay, so this is the one we have did it. Now let's go for the password field and let's try to create by own other way. Okay, so here you could see tag name is there. Okay, then here you could see class name is there. Okay, so whenever you know the class name, one thing you need to tweak. Here you could see tag name dot the value of the class attribute. But whenever then the class name there's a space, you cannot use it. So I can use any part uniquely which was working. So let's give the tag name input. Tag name is input dot operation, then any unique syntax from the class name. You could see it's one of one, still unique. So it should work. So whenever you know class name, tag name dot class name without space any word. In case not uniquely, we can go with the other approach. In case we know it is a ID we can use tag name has ID. In case class name, tag name dot class name, right? So that is the way I can do it. So let's give create again couple of more variables, okay, called password. Okay, what is the locator I have created just now? Just copy it here and paste it here. Okay, so now here we can change it to password and any value called password 123. Okay, now let's run it. Let's wait for 2 more seconds. Let's run it. So you could see it will enter the value in the username field, password field also using CSS selectors, using the page.locators method where we are giving the CSS selector value. It's perfectly working fine. So this is the way wherever we know the ID or class name I can use it. Okay, let's copy the same code and you can change it other value with the other locator strategy. So what are the other strategy available? If you know some tag any attribute name, tag name attribute equal to value. So what I'll be changing it here for the this field username field, I can either change it to like any attribute unique. So tag name input, then what is the attribute called ID, this bracket ID equal to this value. What is the value? I just simply copy it here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so class name, okay, type equal to email. Okay, this name ID equal to username, right? I can do it here. ID equal to username. You could see 1 out of 1. Okay, that is perfectly fine. In case you want to use the other operator, right? Or sign. So you could use type equal to email. So again, this bracket type equal to email. It will still identifying element uniquely. So this is the way also you can go with the or part. So I'll be just simply changing it here. This value. So it will still work. Okay. Now other different thing is available. So we already understood about the ID, how you can use class, how you can use ID is nothing but the tag name has the ID value, tag name dot the class value, attribute equal to the value, and multiple attribute, tag name attribute 1 equal to value, attribute 2 equal to value. Now in case sometime, right, there's attribute available, but that attribute is not constant. One part is dynamic, one part is static. So dynamic part maybe that is getting changed every time. So in case you giving the full part, it will not work. Why? Because the dynamic value is changing every time. So those are the area you cannot use the full thing. Instead of that, you can go with the start with end with the content part on the static component. So how you can use it? Tag name, attribute, power sign, pick of the string. Let's see for the password field how you can go ahead. So this is the password field. Think about that. Say this is the class name. This is the big part, right? But say for the class, right, input is constant. Okay, think about that. This part is constant, right? So what we can do it here, I can give the tag name and I can give something called class. Okay, input is tag name class. Then I can give the power sign of the starting part. What is the starting part called? Let's see what is the starting part for the password field. Okay, starting part for the password field class starting with input. Okay, you could see one of three element is displayed, so you cannot go ahead with that. Now let's go for the login button. Okay, see here what is that available. You could see for the login button. Okay, class tag name is input, class starting with button. So see it's working or not. Okay, you could see now 1 of 1. So I'm trying to use that one for the clicking on the login button. So what I'll be doing, I'll be using here to click on the login button directly. Okay, await page dot locators, and I can give the value here within the double quote, and this is the button. I can just simply click operations. That is perfectly fine. So I can try to run it. Now let's see with this strategy is working fine or not. So we have just used the start with, which is nothing but the tag name, then this attribute name, the power sign equal to the starting part of the particular attribute. In case other part is not constant or changing, you could see it's working perfectly fine. We have given wrong value and it's not working. So test case got passed. Now in case you want to go with the contents, means any of the middle part is fine, or start or ending part is constant, remaining part is not one. What we can use? Attribute star equal to substring. So here you can change it to star sign. So that's either starting or ending, anything should work. You could see it's still working, right? It is nothing but the end with. Okay, it is called end content. Sorry, this contents, right? So here I can mention called contents. Okay, this one I can use it. Now in case you already see about the start with, now you want to go with the end with, means attribute dollar sign suffix of the string, means last part, exactly last part you need to go it. So what is the last part? Called primary. This is the last part of the string, right, of this class. So what is the sign? It will be dollar sign. So this is the sign you need to make sure. If you just go through this document, it will be helping you how to do it, and slowly you can understood, right? You could see this is the way you can go with the end with. Okay, so this is the way you can try to create your CSS selectors. Okay, now similar way we will try to deal with the XPath. So XPath is nothing but the XML path. Okay, so whenever any kind of locator is not working or this kind of attribute is not available, either you can go with the XPath or CSS selector. So anything is fine, but there are some pros and cons I'll be discussing, where you can use XPath, where you can use CSS selector. But strategy is same. Page.locator, you need to give the value of CSS or XPath. So XPath is nothing but its XML path. It is the syntax or language for finding any element on the web page using the XML path expression. XPath is used to find the location of any element on a web page using HTML DOM structure. DOM is nothing but the document object model. So XPath is the technique in Playwright that allows user to navigate the structure of the web page HTML. XPath is syntax for finding element on the web page. XPath in Playwright can be used on both HTML and XML document. So there are primarily there are one more example also given how to deal with the right CS selector. So whenever you are dealing with the checkbox, so here you could see here you can use that proper strategy like input type equal to checkbox. In case there are multiple checkbox, you can use the nth. We already discussed, right? Nth 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. You can even having the radio button. You could see tag name type equal radio. You can use the last, first or nth. So first will work on the first right option, last will work on the last option. You can use the n 0 to 1, 0 to n minus 1. In case size of the option is n, it will be 0, 1, 2, 3 like that. In case option is 4, so it will be going 0, 1, 2, 3. Otherwise you can use the last first also. So while Playwright support XPath, it is generally recommended to use more user-centric locator like get by role, get by text, or get by label wherever possible. There are these are the less prone to break when DOM structure changes. XPath can be useful for complex scenario where other locators are not sufficient. The page.locator method is used to create locator that describe how to find an element on the page. It accepts a selector string that can be a CSS selector or the XPath expression. Selector in Playwright provide a powerful and flexible way to select elements based on their structure and content within the HTML document. XPath allow user to navigate the DOM tree using the path, offering features that go beyond the capabilities of CSS selector. Use XPath expression to select element based on their hierarchical positions in the DOM or specific attributes. XPath provides a powerful way to navigate complex DOM structure or select element based on siblings or ancestor relationship. So there are primarily three type of XPaths available: relative XPath, absolute XPath, and partial XPath. So think about real-time example. Okay, suppose say somebody is residing in India, okay, and I am basically from Kolkata, and somebody want to meet with me, okay, And whenever they ask that my address, I have given that person to my address that I am residing in Kolkata, this is the place. So somebody is staying in Bangalore and he came to Kolkata for some reasons, okay, some business trip or some other reasons, and like he that time he got one day vacation and he came to my place, he come to my society, my floor, my flat, and rang my bill, but that time I am not available, so he not able to meet me. So this is called absolute XPath, starting from the root to going to the node. But what is the problem? In case anything got changed in the middle, that will never work. So that is the problem of the absolute XPath. It contains the complete path from the root element to the desired element. It begins with this root path with a predefined called slash, only single slash. That is the reason this is not recommended to use it. And from the absolute XPath, you can use the partial XPath. So the person is already in Kolkata, so you no need to travel from the Bangalore to Kolkata again, right? He can come to my place. So without removing the couple of part from the root, till it might work. So that is called partial XPath. But it's not recommended to use it, the absolute or partial XPath. Instead of that, it is recommended to use the relative path, where it is starting with some reference and it will never fail. It is used double slash, slash slash, tag name, this bracket, right? Okay, at the rate, attribute equal to the value. So say before coming visiting to me, the persons already asked me that I'll be meeting with you, Aradhan. Okay, but I say that okay, that time I'll not be in my home. So person said me that's fine, right? You can let me where you'll be there that time, otherwise you give me your live location. So using the live location, that person is trying to reach me, so that will never fail, right? Mostly in case I'm thinking that person can still reach me instead of my home, which is not the permanently fixed. Though my home is fixed, but still I am not guaranteed that I'll be always there in my home. So this is called the relative XPath. So it is more likely starting simply by referencing the element user want and navigate from the particular location. It begins from the current location and prefix with double slash. So say in case you just opening anything Facebook page, okay, and in case just you want to identify the email field, okay, so you can click here and you can just come here, okay, right click, click on the inspect, come here, okay, and you could see there is options available. Right click here, option available called copy full XPath. Now you can copy it and you can place in the notepad. Okay, you can see it's giving you the full XPath starting with the parent tag or root tag to the proper last tag, right? But there I could see so many deep all this stuff. In case something tomorrow these two deep got removed, will it work? No, it will fail. But sometime say you are taking this part and you are pressing here Control F and you are giving it, it's working. And if you are removing one or deep, might be it work also. So that is called partial XPath. In case you are removing couple of parts, still it work. Okay, that is the partial XPath from the absolute relative XPath. You can create it. Okay, absolute XPath you can create it, but relative XPath. Suppose say in case you are removing couple of more item, will it work? No, it is. It might not work, right? Okay, you could see it's got getting failed. So that is the problem of this two XPath called partial or absolute XPath. Instead of that, we can go with the relative XPath. What is the way I can do it? Okay, relative XPath. So what are the different strategy available here? You could see tag name is input, and what are the other attributes available? Okay, you could see at other attributes available called name equal to email. So what I can do here, slash slash, okay, tag name attribute equal to value, slash slash, what is the tag name input, what is the attribute name, okay, what is the attribute name, name, at the rate you need to give it here, name equal to value, what is the value, email. You could see it is uniquely identifying one of one. So this is the way I can create the XPath. Slash slash, tag name, bracket, right, third bracket, at the rate attribute name equal to value. So this is the way I can create the XPath, simple way. So now I can use it. Similarly here also, the login page, I can try to create XPath for this username field. So tag name, okay, then I can use say name equal to username, right here. So tag name equal to username at the rate slash slash tag name input square bracket, this bracket, right, square bracket at the rate name equal to the value. You could see 1 out of 1. So I can now I can take it and I can use it instead of this CS selector. I can use this XPath here simply. It will still work. So this is the way I can create the XPath. Okay. So what are the different way we can create a basic XPath? You can use the contents. You can use and or. In CSS it's supported only or. Here also you can use and. So suppose with one attribute you are not able to identify the element uniquely. So you can use combination of attribute using on, and you can use text which is not supported by CSS. In case any anchor link or hyperlink are available, you can use the text also. You can use start with, you can with contents, but no end with in XPath supported. You can use the last or indexing also in the XPath. So let's see couple of simple example. Slash slash square bracket at the rate attribute name equal to value. So we have used it. Okay, this one. Okay, so for the password field, what I want to do, I want to give some using an or combination. So what is the way I can go ahead here? At tag name is input. Okay, name equal to password. Okay, name equal to pw, right? Pw. You could see still 1 of 1. But here instead of this one, I want to go with and or combination. I can use or. Either anything is working fine. Again, this is another attribute id equal to password. So I can use id at the rate id again equal to password. Okay, you could see it's working. Means any of the attribute is working, it will work. But in case say using like any unique attribute you are not able to identify, but you want to go with the combination, so you can use and here, and operation. Means only both are working means it will work only. Okay, so what's the problem happening? Slash slash input tag name and or it's fine. Okay, I can go with the and also. Okay, it should work. And let's go with the or, and I will see for the other one. Okay, might be. No, what's the spelling mistake? Ampersand name equal to pw. What should be and only? Okay, 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 got it. Right. That is the reason it's not working, right? Okay, my bad. W1. Okay, password. Yeah, yes, you could see using and or. Why or was working? Because this part was working fine. That is the sense that does not carry about the care about the other part. But here and means both the part only working, you should work. Now you can copy it and I can change it here. Okay, so this is the way I can identify the password field. Okay, so now let's run the code and let's see what's happening here. It will still work same way, but here instead of CSS we are using XPath with different conditions. You could see it is entering, the password also entering, and login button also clicking. My code is perfectly working fine. So this part I already understood. Okay, now let's go with the other part called text. So say I want to click on one of the text field link. Say I want to click on this forgot your password, right? Okay, link here. So see what is the way I can create the XPath. So this is the anchor link, and what is the link text? This is the forgot your password. So what I'll create the XPath. So slash slash anchor link square bracket at the rate text. Sorry, I don't think that at the rate is required. So here I have given right how you can go with the text. Okay, you could see slash slash tag name square bracket text this option equal to the text value. Okay, so I'll be using the same syntax. Text here you need to use this one equal to the value, and you could see 1 out of 1. So I can use it and I can try to click on these options. Forget password link. Simply it's a link or hyperlink. So this will work. And now I'll go with the other options. Okay, called start with or contents. What I need to do, I need to use this word called start with attribute and the starting part, or contents then attribute. Like, so here I'll be creating XPath for this particular field, say username. Okay, say this is the class name, right? I'll be using it called input. Okay, let's see. So what I'll be using, slash slash tag name, slash slash tag name input, square bracket, starts with what? Starts hyphen with, then again this brace one. Okay, this parenthesis. Okay, at the rate class attribute. What is the attribute? Then you can give the proper value. Okay, comma input, not equal to sign, end this parenthesis, end the square bracket. You could see now one of three element is coming, but I need to identify the element uniquely. So when there are multiple elements coming, XPath will help you to do the indexing also. How you can use the indexing? So give this as a bracket again, one more bracket, complete path. Okay, now give the indexing. Here give the indexing called one, this sign. You could see one of one. If you go to the password field, you can use the indexing two. You can go for the other one, you can use indexing three, which is hidden. Okay, might not be visible properly. But here I want to enter the username field. I can use this indexing one. You could see one out of one. So this is the way XPath will help you to do the indexing also from the list of items, similar item. This is very beautiful for the XPath. Now I can change it here. Okay. Similarly for the password field, okay. So I can go with say here instead of start with, I can use contents. Okay. Contents, this bracket I need to give it. Now I need to go for the password field, so I can give the indexing 2. You could see 2 is fine for the password field. Now I can copy it and I can change it here for the password field using contents, but end with not supported in the XPath. Only support XPath start with and contents, whereas CSS support start with, end with contents. XPath support right and or CSS support or XPath support text, CSS does not support it. So these are the couple of differences there also XPath and CSS. CSS is very faster, easy to write. XPath is slower and little bit complicated to write. But those XPath is more valuable in the project. And in the CSS, you can go only the from the parent to child. XPath, you can go from the child to parent and parent to child also. So both the forward and reverse axis is possible in XPath. But CSS only support forward axis. You could see my code is still working. So this is the way you can try to give it, right? And operation or operation start with contents, like then slash slash tag name attribute equal to the value. Okay, you can go with uh, other couple of strategy like and or and text also you can do support, XPath support it. So this is the very important right for XPath and CSS. And generally whenever user is unable to find any kind of element, specifically using the the built-in locator strategy, they can go with the CSS or XPath. Definitely should be custom XPath or CSS by their own way instead of relying on the default system generated XPath or CSS. And its strategy is same, page dot locators. You need to give the value of XPath or CSS, anything. Okay, so just I have tried to also just given the differences between the XPath and CSS. So XPath support both the forward and reverse. CSS support only forward. CSS is very easier to write compared to XPath. CSS is more faster than XPath. CSS selector does not allow to create selector based on the text content, whereas XPath support. CSS does not support and operations, where XPath support and or. CSS support start with, end with contents. XPath support start with and contents, not end with. But XPath the later version might be supporting. Okay. Now, last two topics I'll cover it. After that, all the questions I'll be discussing it. So we also already understood about the different inbuilt locators, 7 primarily, and XPath and CSS. Now we'll be discussing the chaining locator. Apart from that, filtering locator also there. We'll be discussing in the upcoming sessions, filtering part. Okay, so chaining locators part is nothing that suppose say in case just like and operation you do right here. So I want to give the multiple reference also I can use it. Apart from that, I'll be identifying for the first the parent, then I'll be identifying the child. So that is also possible. Suppose say in my class there are two persons walking, right, taking the training, same name, but I can identify that from which location they belong to. They are from the India or outside India. So this is the way I can go from the parent identification called which country, then which state, then what is the name. So I can easily go like that way. So that is called chaining. You are giving multiple reference to uniquely identify the element. So one important key features in Playwright is called chaining locator mechanism, which can grandly which can greatly enhance the precision and efficiency of test script. In some situation, a single locator might not be enough to precisely select an element. For example, user might have multiple similar elements on a page, such as button with the same labels, but inside different sections. So, in case I'm identifying the section first, then I can go to the end thing, right? Suppose in a single web page, there are a couple of sections called teacher section, student section, or non-teaching staff section. So this is sections, but where your first name, last name, middle name, address field is common. But in case I go to the teacher section, I can definitely identify the first name field, which is common in the teacher section. But this name is like uniquely there in the other section. So I can go for the section first, then I can go ahead to the other element. So this is the, it will help me for the chaining. So chaining locator in Playwright refers to the process of creating locators that is based on the content of another locators. This is particularly useful when user need to perform actions on the element that are within a specific part of the page or are related to other element in some way. While dealing with chaining locator in Playwright, user should essentially start by locating a parent element, then refine the query to target a more specific child element. This approach mimics how a user would navigate page. Firstly, they find the general section and then zero in on the element they need to interact with. Additionally, filtering element to ensure actions are executed on the correct matching element is very crucial to avoid error during testing and interaction. Okay, so you can use multiple like chaining multiple built-in locators or multiple CSS or XPath like custom locator also for the chaining. So what is the way chaining so work? So we need to go, like first locate the parent element, like any kind of locator strategy, right? Either the inbuilt locator or other custom locator. After that, you referencing the parent locators, I can go to the child locator, then I can interact with the child locator. So that is the concept of the chaining locator. So let's see how we can do it. So what I'll do, I'll go to one website. Okay. This is the website is good. Okay, whenever you'll be opening the website, okay, you could see some kind of thing is coming called allow or deny. We can handle this part first in case this kind of thing is coming. Okay. So what I'll do, first we'll have call click on the allow all. Okay. So directly I can do it. Await page dot get by role. What is this role called? Button, right? This is the button here. You could see, visualize it. In case this is coming, it is called button, right? Okay, and the text is allow all. So I can just use it. Here I can use this get by role button, comma, then the curly braces, name colon allow all, and end the curly braces, end the parenthesis, and then click. Okay, see what's the problem happening here. Okay. Okay, one more bracket is required. Then dot click. Still not working. So here get by role await page dot get by role. Okay, is button is fine. I need to give that one. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. allow all, and to end with these curly braces and two more bracket dot click. Sorry, one more bracket is fine. Dot click. Yeah, it's working. After that, what I can do once I'm clicking on this option, okay, after opening this page, here we could able to see on the entering the field, right? First name, last name, all this part. So if you go to the inspect button, okay, just if we go for the sections, okay, this section, right? You could see this section. You could see this section is I can go for this particular field also. Okay, here you could see this is the input field. I can go ahead, but this all these field are coming in a particular section. Okay, if you go to parent, you could able to see these are the sections will be there. This is the form, right? Where ID is there is highlighting the whole section. So I can try to go at the parent section. Okay, so what I can do, I can create a variable for the parent section called constant parent section equal to await page dot locator. I can use the CSS or XPath also. What is the way I can do it? What is the ID available for the parent section? Sorry, my bad. For the parent section, what is the ID? You could see this is the form and this is the ID, right? So if you know the ID, you can give that tag name has ID. Otherwise, you in case it's unique, you, without tag name also work. Here, press Ctrl F, copy it first. Press Ctrl F, give the hash sign, and then give the value. You could see one of two is fine. Okay, otherwise you can give that form also. Okay, you could see one out of one, right? So you can copy it and you can change it here. So this is the way I'm trying to identify the parent section. Okay. Now from this using the parent section, I want to create a child. Okay. So what I can go ahead. So I want to filter some value in the child section. Say here, enter your name. Okay. What is the child section input is the there and name is there, class is there, ID equal to there, right? This ID. Okay. So or I can use the other also, na? Other locator also. So say get by placeholder, right? You could see placeholder is there your full name. So I can take it also. So what I'll doing it, I'll be just going here. I'll be creating any variable called constant called child section underscore the variable name, uh, the full name, right? Full name. Okay, this is the name I'm going, and here I'm taking that parent section reference first. Dot instead of page reference, I'm using the parents element reference. Get by placeholder or whatever attribute, right? And I can take it this placeholder attribute. What is the placeholder value? Yeah, your name, right? So I can take it. Other I can get some XPath CSS also if required. That is fine. And I am just identifying the element. Now what I want to do it, I want to validate this particular field is visible or not. Then I can enter some value also. So this is the way I can go from the parent to child. This is called chaining locator mechanism. Okay, so I can take it, I can validate it. This field is visible using the parent reference, and I can enter some value here. Okay. Now I can wait for 2 seconds here to validate that it's perfectly working fine. Now let's run the code. So this kind of right part is really important whenever they'll be having a main menu and sub menu. This kind of stuff is very important. First you can click on the main menu, and then from the main menu you can go to the sub menu. Right, whenever there is sections, you can go ahead from the parent to child sections, and again nested child also you can go ahead using the chaining locator mechanism, like grandparent to parent to child or menu to sub menu to other way, right? It will click on the L1 button. Okay, I think it is not working, might be. Yeah, might be some element, okay, is problem is there at the identification. So you can get to know the error and then we'll fix it. So it's running. Yeah, it is getting failed. Why? See, see the 30 second is the maximum timeout. It got failed. What is the problem? It got failed. Yeah, 30 second exceeded, but this kind of stuff is not able to allow. Why? Because you could say have given allow without space all, but the button name is allow space all, right? So I need to change it. Okay. So now if you run it again, it should work now. So you need to make sure that you are giving the proper syntax without any space or without giving the proper, so with giving the proper space also. Otherwise it will not work. So after opening the page, it will just, in case it's coming, it will click on the allow all button. Yeah, now it's working. Now you could see it will identify the parent section and it's entering the value in the child section other than Pal. And you can go with the other also, like email and other field, right? So what I can do, I can try to go with the other sections also. Like I want to enter in the other field called email. Okay, here I can change it called, let's see, the other field is there. Okay, it's called other field called email, work email. So instead of placeholder, I can go ahead with the right other thing. Okay, let's create with the other. Instead of placeholder, I can use it. That's fine. Okay, or you can create a CSS or XPath also. Chaining is fine with anything. Okay, so get by placeholder, give it here, and like called change it called email, and now change the value everywhere. Change the name of the email. Now let's save it and run it. So this is the way you can go ahead. It's entering the name, entering the email, perfectly working fine, closing it. So this is the way. Also sometime in case you are having some web application where you are having some menu, sub menu, right, or other child menu, you can also go ahead with the chaining locator strategy, where you can use any kind of inbuilt locator and along with the combination of CSS selector or XPath also. The last part we'll cover today, which is nothing but called context playwright fixtures. So you already discussed about the playwright fixture in the previous session, that apart from the page we are using, apart from that there are a couple of fixtures available called context, like browsers also there. So playwright test comes with several built-in or default fixtures that are automatically available for use in the test. These fixtures provide common functionality needed for browser automation and testing. The most commonly used default fixture in Playwright TypeScript are page, browser, context, browser name, and request. So page, this fixture provide a page object which is the primary interface for interacting with single browser tab or page. In case you want to only work with a single tab or single page, you can use the page. It allows to navigate click element, fill form, and perform various actions within the page. But browser, in case you need to open a browser, after that in a browser in multiple contexts, then multiple pages, you need to use the browser fixture. So browser fixture provide a browser instance representing the launch browser. It can be Chromium, Firefox, WebKit, anything. It's typically shared across all tests in a worker process for efficiency. Whereas context, this fixture provides a browser context instance. So in a browser, you can open the multiple context, and from the multiple context, you can open the multiple tab or page, right? So this fixture provides a browser context instance which is similar to an incognito browser tab. Each test runs in an isolated browser context, ensuring a fresh environment and preventing state leakage between tests. So browser name, this fixture provides a string representative in the name of the browser currently being used for the test, like Chromium, Firefox, WebKit, anything. This is the browser name. Also, you can use it. Request, this fixture primarily used for the API testing. So this fixture provides a request context, free configuring the making API call, which is useful for testing backend interaction or setting up the test data. The page fixture is automatically provided to the test functions, allowing user to interact with the browser page without any explicit setup. It is primarily used to interact with web page within the test, allowing action like navigating, clicking, filling form, and asserting element. So you could see here, we have this is the import block, this is the test block where we are already providing the page, we are opening the page, and then we are interacting with the different assertion. Now let's go ahead with some simple example. Okay, so I'll be just taking the sample code already given. So let's comment out everything. Now let's paste the code. So this is one of the website, okay, called this website. Okay, so this is the website where there are having couple of email ID and password, right? Combination. One is called admin, one is called say supervisor, one is called normal member, like that. So this is the where context will be working, right? That you want to open the multiple browser sessions, context session using different kind of credential, right? So or if you want to handle with multiple tab, multiple window, like also you can use it. The browser context browser, these are the different fixtures. So what we are doing it here, we are just having the same block test and expect also you can use it in case you want to validate something. Here we are using the chromium also in the import. Why? Because we are first trying to using the browser after using the chromium.launch. Here we are not passing any kind of fixture, you could see here we are blank. Otherwise in the normal way we are using as a page, right? Here you could see here we are using a page fixture. But here we are importing the chromium which is coming from the playwright.test package, and using the chromium.launch method we are creating a browser. So that using the chromium it is creating a browser first. From the browser we are calling the new context method. Then we are creating a new context called admin context. Where we are trying to deal with a new page, where we are opening the page, we are giving some email ID, specific password, and click on the submit button. So it is opening the admin page with the admin credential, and we're creating one more context called user context, normal user. So we are using the browser, we are creating a new context called context name, giving it called user context. From this context I am creating the page, and then after opening the page I am trying to open like do it other email password combination and closing the browser at the end. I can also close the different context also or page one by one, but in case you are closing the browser it will automatically close all the context and all the browser. So let's run it and let's see how it is happening here. So it will opening the browser and context, and then from the both the context will open the page. So that is the it will work. It is not in the same page or same tab. It will open the two window and then two new tab. Okay, so what's the problem? No test found. It's fine. Okay, this is what we need to remove it. Now it should be good. Still error. Yeah, it's fine. So you could see it is working with one worker because we are trying to just not running in a parallel mode. So it is opening one browser and it is trying to give the user ID password, click on sign in button. Okay, then it will open the another browser's window. Okay, not same one. Okay, you could see both the browser is getting open, browser context, and here it is trying to give the email ID password and it's clicking it. So here even two browser window or browser context into the same browser called Chromium. So this is the way it's working. Okay, so maybe some problem happened, that's fine. Okay, you can run it once more again, it should pass. Sometime because of slowness and other stuff it might work, but mostly it will work. So this is the way we'll be seeing how to, in the upcoming session I'll cover how to deal with the different pages, different tab, right? How to open the multiple tabs in a single page, also how to open the multiple window or page in a single context. We'll be dealing with all this stuff in the upcoming session, but this is the overall browser context. Okay, so that first you'll be opening a browser. From the browser you can create a context. From the context you can create one or multiple pages. Okay. So yeah, you could see okay, some failure is coming, might be some other reason, but yeah, it should be fine. You can run it the same code, it should work. Okay, so now let's recapture one more time what we covered today. Okay, this is the last topic for today. So today we started with the reporting part. So these are the couple of reports like we covered, like the default report, built-in report like HTML, list, line, dot, JSON, and JUnit, which you can configure from the playwright.config file. After that, if you're running any code, it will all report will be generated. But if you want to display the report in the like terminal, you can run this command. And for the HTML report, you can set it called open never or always, or by default is on failure. You can use the slowMo, right, to give some pause or some delay for each every operation, so that initial time you can visualize the execution, and it will might be helping you for the debugging. Then the player the different browser navigation, from opening the browser to go to the other browser. Okay, for go back, go forward, reload, close, or close the page of the browser, you can use it. Then playwright locators. Locators very very important to deal with the element first. Okay, otherwise in case you are not able to identify the locators, there is no point of doing any operation, you cannot do it. So playwright is already having couple of locator and features like auto rating, retriability, stickness, chaining, dynamic locator, built-in locator, reliability. In playwright there are three types of locator, primarily built-in, then custom locator or CSS XPath, then chaining and filtering option. 7 built-in locators available: get by role, get by text, get by label, get by placeholder, get by alt text, get by title, and get by test ID. And in case some locator is still not working or not able to find out, you can go with the custom locator called XPath or CSS. So these are the couple of strategy discussed. For CSS, you can go with the tag name as this square bracket attribute equal to value, or you can know the ID or class. You can go ahead. CSS support start with, end with, contents, and multiple symbol also. XPath, primarily 3 XPath is there, like relative, absolute, and partial XPath, but we should go with the relative XPath, which is starting with the double slash. XPath syntax is nothing but slash slash tag name attribute equal to value. You can go with the content and start with and or, and you can use the XPath for the text also. But XPath is a little bit slower compared to CSS. XPath CSS is very easy to write, and XPath support from the parent to child, child to parent, whether CSS support only parent to child. Okay, CSS does not allow you for the text, but XPath support for the text. And then chaining part, you can use it. So in case you are having multiple reference, you can go with the chaining part instead of only one reference. And first you can go with the parent, and then you can go with the child from the parent sections. And playwright fixtures along with the page, there are a couple of fixtures available like browser, context, browser name, and request primarily used for the API. So first, instead of directly going to the page, first we can create the browsers. From the browser, you can create the context. From the context, you can use the different pages. So that is the way like your playwright fixture also works. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.